Hello, my name is Faith Marshall and I work in the Human Resources Department. My official title is HR Consultant-Diversity. And the message that I want to put across in this session is that inclusive practice benefits all our students and you, okay? Sometimes we get the impression that inclusive practice is about making reasonable adjustments for students with disabilities. And true as that is, and important as that is, I think it's actually a much wider issue than that. Our students come loaded with all kinds of issues. We've got students with caring responsibilities, both younger care and elder care. We've got students who've got jobs. We've got students who do public service type work. We've got students who do volunteer work. We've got students who do sport, all kinds of things, really. And the thing that they've got to do time after time after time is fit their studies around the rest of their lives, a bit like you do, and fit the rest of their lives around their studies. And those priorities shift and change depending on the time of year. And one of the things I think that we can do that most effectively is just make sure that the students get the information that they need in a format that they can access as early as possible, and that really lets them make informed choices about what they're going to be doing with us. Okay, there's all kinds of information that students actually need, apart from things like timetabling and lecture notes and things. Students might need to know whether the course is taught in the afternoon or in the evenings or the mornings, or whether there's going to be a field trip type or residential type of element, what kind of assessment might be used, and whether there's scope for adjusting that kind of assessment. In fact, almost anything that's going to let a student make an informed decision. But here's the good thing, it can actually benefit students all round. If I can use just one example, putting lecture notes on WebCT or the internet or some other place that students can get at them. If you do those actually in advance, there are a couple of myths around that if students actually get your lectures in advance, they're not going to turn up. Well, actually, we've done some research, a bit of desk research with some existing students, and we know that actually the reverse is true. It's a bit like going to the theatre. If you've got a program and you've read it and you have an understanding about what's going on, you actually have a deeper understanding of what you're about to see before you ever see it. And you might find yourself actually interested in something that you previously had no interest in at all, and so waiting to see what's going to happen. There's a good sense of anticipation there. The other thing is that students can come more prepared, ready to listen more intently and focus more entirely on the kind of work they're doing. So that benefits them. It also helps, like for example, something unexpected happens and they can't get to lecture for some reason, whether the trains get sort of all doolally, whether the car breaks down, whether they're ill, whether the children are ill, whether you are ill for that matter. Students can actually not have to work so hard at catching up, and neither will you, because they will have already got that prior information. Okay, that said, now we're asking you about information, but we need information from students as well to make this all work. If a student has particular learning needs or requirements, do encourage them to tell you whatever those things are. And that way we can build in the flexibility that we need to make their student experience really positive. Remember too, finally, that you haven't got to be an expert on everything. We've got a lot of in-house expertise already, for example, at the Students' Union, at Student Support Services. So if a student comes to you for information about things that are outside your area of expertise, don't think that you have to do it all. Do refer people on to student services, and that way everybody will get the real best from the inclusive practice approach.